Some things are better left unknown. And I'll never find you here, 'cause no one's ever is queen, she's a sneaky hider. Hide the lies and the alibis. Oh, what a sinner, is it in her? What's the truth in this riddle? Is love really just this simple? I can't seem to find my way in this world that never stays. What a widow, a peaceful spider. When the glass is clean, she's a sneaky hider. Hide the lies and the alibis. What a sinner, is it in her?
Hello everyone, we will be getting started shortly. Do make sure to share this out far and wide if you're over on the YouTube.
Is this real? Just illusion? I'm lost in the wonderland of confusion. I'm lost in the wonderland of confusion. Is this real or just illusion? Manifestation or a dark delusion? Is this real or just illusion? I'm lost in a wonderland of confusion.
Rip'n Rabbit Hole is a community-driven radio. At times the community comments may reveal prejudices and other beliefs that we or our sponsors do not condone. Views or opinions expressed by the community, callers, or guests, are those of the individual speaking and do not represent the views or opinions of this site. Rip'n Common Sense content is intended for mature audiences only. Enjoy.
Multiverse broadcasting system initiated.
Lasers.
Multiverse connection established.
Lasers.
Hello.
Multiverse connection secure.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
This is My Life DIY, and
Hi, this is JoJo.
Hi, my name is Az.
Hey everybody, it's AJ the Rip'n Rabbit.
This is Cynthia Sue Larson.
This is your man Meta, aka Propagate This Light.
And you're now listening
to DarkWolf's Den.
The DarkWolf's Den Show on Rip'n Common Sense Radio.
Are ghosts real?
We had 1,000 hours of continuous communication with the spirit world.
Does time travel actually exist?
The laws of physics seem to be compatible with time machines.
You know, sometimes I wonder about reincarnation, don't you?
A 4-year-old boy in Adelaide, Australia, has told his parents that he used to be Britain's Princess Diana.
What would happen if the world found out that aliens were real?
I didn't say disclosure would be easy, but what is the alternative?
To establish a space force as the 6th branch of the armed forces.
We have so many questions and yet so little time, so to have you here, the pleasure is all mine.
Coming to you from a secret cave, hidden deep within the wilderness. This is the DarkWolf's Den Show. Now, here is your host, Jerry Hicks.
Happy Thursday, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. I am Jerry Hicks, also known as the Dark Wolf, and we are broadcasting live across the multiverse from a secret cave hidden deep within the wilderness of Tennessee. That's right. We're ripping through the electromagnetic soup, tearing through the atmosphere, and tunneling away into your radio like a quantum particle. This is the DarkWolf's Den Radio Show for Thursday, October the 7th, 2021. So whether you're on the edge of reality, the edge of the galaxy, or the edge of your seat, we're glad you chose us to be right there with you. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome tonight to Hallo-Wolf's Realty. We are in the business of selling you the most haunted establishments that we can find. But first, let's go ahead and check over in the chat room and see how many customers, I mean chatters, that we have over here with us tonight. Quite a few, you guys, I see. We have JoJo's waving in from the top saying hello. Glad to have you here, JoJo's. Who else we got here? The DarkWolf's Den Show. Oh, wait, that's me. This is in Rippin' Common Sense Radio Chat. We also got Sandy B over here. Glad to see you, Sandy. Says, hi, Jerry. Hi, Sandy. Raider Champion dropping in with the musical interlude link if you're interested in getting the song for yourself, the theme song to the DarkWolf's Den Show. Terry Taggart says, hey, y'all. Hey, Terry. I do apologize, those listening over on the radio. I kind of messed up. I forgot to hit a button a moment ago, but we are vocally on there now. We were live. We just didn't have any sound coming through. My apologies for those listening on the radio worldwide, if you're still tuned in. Who else we got here? Terry Taggart saying hello. Glad to see you, Terry. Alva Yarder stopping in. Hello, everyone. Hello, Terry Taggart. Or hello, Alva Yarder. I don't know why I've got Terry on the brain tonight. Darius Munchausen dropping into the the Rippin' Rabbit Hole chat. The stream is still running over there. The stream is ended. I go back and refresh it, Darius. It does that from time to time. I don't know why it does that from time to time. It just kicks people off randomly. So we are still running on both channels to the best of my knowledge. Mandani Mall, hi everyone. Hey Mandani Mall, glad to see you. Says, how's you doing tonight? I'm doing great. How's you doing, sir? Lorraine Lamore, hi Dark Wolf. Does that say realty? Should it be reality? No, not this time. I mean, we all live in our realities, but I'm not trying to sell a reality. I'm trying to sell some realty tonight. Darius Munchausen dropping in over in the Dark Wolf's Den Show chat also said he got kicked off of here a moment ago. I do apologize. I don't know why it did it. It says we're going to have a ripping good time. That's right, Darius. We are going to have a ripping good time for sure. Michael Fontaine, glad to see you, my friend. Says, same here. I think he gets kicked off a lot, too. JoJo said that stream is back up to healthy and going strong over there on the Dark Wolf's Den Show. Deborah Connor says, Wolfie, good to be here, sir. Good to see you, Deborah. Good to have you here. Boiling Frogs, hello DWD and fans. Hello, Boiling Frogs. Always a pleasure to have you guys here with us. And of course, before we can get to showing these fine properties, we definitely have two more little segments that we must do. The first of which we call Today in History. On this day in 1959, the far side of the moon is seen for the first time. courtesy of the USSR's Luna 3 space probe. That's right. That happened on this day in 1959, and us ufologists have been arguing about what is there ever since. And that is today's segment of Today in History. See, if the Americans would have been smart about it, they would have been able to get on the dark side of the moon in the front, right? Just do it during an eclipse. Then the whole front side of the moon's the dark side, right? I know, a little cheesy, right? But before we do dig into these haunted properties, we do have one more segment to do. A segment which we call... Say what? God, I love that soundbite. Anyway, our quote of the day today is anonymous. They said, and I quote, "If one door closes and another one opens, start worrying, 'cause your house is probably haunted," end quote. Which is so very fitting for what we're about to go over tonight, right? Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that is today's segment of Say What? And I'm pretty sure most of our houses we have up this evening have had a couple occurrences of doors opening and closing within them on their own, of course. These houses may even be cheap because they may come with roommates that are unexpected. Let's just say some roommates that don't pay rent as normal. Like the first one on our list tonight.
The S.K. Pierce Mansion in Massachusetts. This Victorian home was built in 1875 by a chair manufacturer named Sylvester K. Pierce.
And that picture is on the screen right now. This is that Victorian England home owned by S.K. Pierce. Has a bit of a creepy vibe to it, just with that color and everything, and just the whole design style. What do you guys think? Looks a little creepy to me.
This spooky mansion features 10 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms, 11-foot ceilings, and several marble fireplaces. The home has been on the market for several years. Nobody wants to buy it because it's listed as the most haunted home in all of New England.
What do you say, guys? Do we have any paranormal researchers out there that are willing to consider buying this haunt in order to live and perhaps even do some research in?
This place is just replete with ghosts. Since its construction, there have been 7 deaths recorded in the Pierce Mansion, including a prostitute that was strangled.
And remember, that is only one of 7 deaths that have occurred in this home, making it prime real estate for ghost research, at least, right?
Sounds like this Pierce guy was into some pretty kinky stuff. Because of its haunted reputation, this home has appeared on television shows including Ghost Hunters, Ghost Adventure, and My Ghost Story. There have been several reports of people walking by the empty mansion who have seen a little boy who stares out the front window.
Which is an excellent guard service, right? Who's going to come up to a window if they think it's a ghost boy in the window, right? Great guard service here. Excellent security.
While others have seen a busy servant and a sad woman roaming the halls.
And that's right, it even comes with its own servant if you want to feel pampered, albeit a ghost servant, so I'm not sure how well that's going to work out. But its own servant just the same. Heck of a deal.
The really creepy stuff is reported from the people who actually lived in the mansion. They claim that within weeks they were hearing noises throughout the house. They heard chants and whispers coming from the walls.
It's even got its own built-in audio service. Chants and songs coming straight out of the walls. High tech, let me tell you. Amazing ghost technology here.
The longer they lived in the home, the stranger things got. They'd see shadows darting from room to room, and the master bedroom door would be knocked on while everyone else was sleeping in bed.
So not only will you never really feel alone in this house, but it even comes with its own wake-up call. How do you like that?
They even heard voices calling out their names. You really can't nope this mansion hard enough. The home is listed at $329,000.
Which isn't too bad a price, right? Boiling frogs, how much? Deborah O'Connor, here we go. Roommates who don't pay rent are called squatters, sir. Yes, ma'am, they are called squatters. Angel Light, this is in Pennsylvania, I wanted to think they said. S.K. Pierce Mansion is what it's called. Glad to see you, Angel Light.
Which is a steal of a deal if you don't mind a few ethereal roommates.
And once again, this is the S.K. Pierce Mansion, so for a mansion especially, that is one steal of a deal, especially with all the amazing amenities like the guard service and the butler and even the wake-up calls, and you'll never be alone. What an amazing deal of a house. Would you buy this house? Would you purchase this haunted house? Go ahead, put a 1 in the chat room if you're interested in purchasing this. Go ahead, put a 2 in the chat room if you would say that this is not for you. Go ahead, put a 3 in the chat room if you're intrigued but don't think this is quite your home just yet. That you'd like to go ahead and see the other options that we have to offer.
The Pillars Estate in Albion was built in the early 1800s, just after the Civil War. The entire house consists of 6 bedrooms, a ladies' parlor, a gentleman's study, and a formal dining room.
And already we see this has quite a lot of living space. Plenty of space for a good haunting. I mean, plenty of space for living, most definitely.
Renovations began in the early 80s, and it stirred up a spate of spiritual activity. Mischievous children seem to be the most numerous ghostly sightings.
And who don't love children? Especially children that you don't really have to spend that much money on to feed and clothe and all that, but they'll always be there with you. Who can't want a place that's got a number of mischievous little children running around?
Guests have reported hearing paranormal kids around the property, including the sound of a child's voice quietly saying, "I'm over here."
So if you need exercise, some of these children love to play hide and seek.
At times, the piano in the home plays a single note over and over without anyone being in the room.
Okay, so not the best musically inclined as far as this home goes. It doesn't have quite the audio structure as the other one had, but it does have a very single tone to it, right? Just one note over and over. I'm sure one could get used to that over time, right? Or it might drive them crazy. One of the two.
On top of all the other ghostly activity, a mysterious woman in white has also been sighted reclining on a bed in the east wing and standing by the lake with a parasol in her hand.
So once again, you have some extra company here. A female this time who may even be a good snuggle buddy, right? She seems to prefer the bed on they said, with the top floor. So there you go, comes with your own snuggle buddy and everything. Can't beat that, right? Then again, may not be your type. Who knows, right? Speaking of type, let's see if that last house was the type that you guys in the chat would be interested in buying. Let's see what you guys said. And my apologies, I just now realized that I had forgotten to change the picture. So for those on YouTube, this is the picture of the pillar house we were just listening to about. But let's see what you guys said about buying the S.K. Pierce Mansion. Over in the Rippin' Rabbit Hole chat, Darius Munchausen says, yes, absolutely, I'd buy that. Radio Champion said, that'd be a steal, Mom, talking to Sandy. Sandy B says, I have enough friends already. Definitely a 2 on that one. Terry Taggart breaking her 3 streaks with a 2 on this one. Definitely not interested in this house. Well, we're not doing a very good sales job then. Raider Champion 1.1. Definitely, most likely, probably interested in this house. Then in the DarkWolf's Den Show over here, we've got, let's see where these start. 1 with JoJo. She would definitely buy that house. The S.K. Pierce Mansion. Angel Light 2, nope, no thank you, good to go. Boiling Frogs points out it does cost a lot to maintain, though. It may cost a little to maintain, I'll give you that. 1 with My Life, she would definitely buy such a house. Built-in family, says Judge. That's right, it comes with a whole built-in family. That second one does, can't beat that. Deborah O'Connor with a 2. Definitely would not buy such a house. And I think that's all I see. Oh, and Mandani Mall. Nope. That very simple. Nope. And remember, now we're talking about the Pillars Mansion in New York. I'll be in New York. And we've already determined that this one has a lot of children to play with, a single tone audio system, as well as a woman in white that would be lingering around with you and may even be a sleeping partner, if you will. if ghosts sleep. We're not sure how that works yet, but anyway, that's where we're at so far with the Pillars house. Perhaps this would be one that you would be interested in buying.
The owners have been trying to sell it for over 20 years with no luck.
Well, perhaps one of our audience members will change that. If you guys were interested in the Pillars house, go ahead, put a 1 in the chat room. Put a P1, as a matter of fact. If you're interested in, or if you're not interested in the house, go ahead, put a 2 in the chat room. P2. Put a P3 in the chat room if you're not quite sure either way. Would like to continue to hear what else we have to offer, like our next house on our Realty tour tonight.
Charming Forge Mansion in Wilmsdorf, Pennsylvania. This home was built back in the 1800s and is now famous for its paranormal activity.
Who wouldn't want to own a piece of historic Americana, especially something from the 1800s, right?
The best known eerie tale associated with this property takes place in the late 1800s. A young man was traveling by horseback to reunite with his lover who lived in the mansion. As he approached the home, the rider spied his sweetheart in the window. In a moment of joy and excitement, he stood up in his stirrups to wave at his love. The sudden action spooked the animal. It reared up and threw the man to his death, right there on the steps in front of his girlfriend.
So not only do we have a emotional event, but we've also got the trauma here too. Prime for a great haunting.
It's said that the ghost of the young man now lurks around the property, while the ghost of his heartbroken fiancée can be spotted in the upstairs window.
Once again, you have an incredible security system. The guy that walks the property and the girl ghost that stays in the window. Either one is going to scare off intruders, right?
What's more is that in 1926, while the house was under construction, a Native American visited the site and warned that it was built on an Indian burial ground. His story was corroborated by the records of the Forge Mansion, which mentioned the discovery of many human bones that were found during the initial evacuation. So this joint has got paranormal sweethearts and a tribe of angry Native Americans. No surprise, it's still on the market.
So this particular haunt comes with 2 different security systems. You've got the wayward lovers that appear on the property that would definitely scare people away, or if that doesn't work, we've got the whole tribe of Native Americans who are very ticked off to begin with and don't want anyone on their land. So intruders would definitely not be your problem in this house. But let's see if this is one you guys said that you would buy. Let's see over here in the chat room who we got. Actually, quite an interesting selection over here. Quite a mixed bag. Darius Munchausen, or I'm sorry, that was the last one. Yeah, Darius Munchausen, P1, absolutely would buy this one too. He wants all the haunted houses. I love it. Terry Taggart, P2, no thank you. Mandani Mall, PU2, definitely not one he'd be interested in at all. Sandy B says too big to clean. Well, yeah, there is that, right? Over in the DarkWolf's Den Show chat, we've got Jojo says reduced price, definitely with a 1, would buy this one, absolutely. Angel Light said she would not buy the Pillars house, is not interested whatsoever. My Life DIY P3, definitely interested, but not really. Want to see what else we got to choose from here. Not really on for that one, so excellent. Jojo and Alviara thinks, how sad, what a sad story. I agree. That is quite a sad story indeed. Deborah O'Connor, 2, nope. I want to see more houses first. Yes, ma'am. So let's see more houses. All right, you guys are not making this realtor's job easy, but I love it. So let's see, for those who said so far they would not be interested in the first couple of houses, perhaps the next one in the book will be more along the lines of what you're looking for. Check this one out.
The Frank Shaver Allen home was built in 1887 by prominent architect Frank Allen. It gained notoriety after reports started coming in of poltergeist activity on the grounds.
And of course, this one one, having a poltergeist on the grounds is going to cost just a little bit more because it's just something that's kind of rare. We don't see poltergeist activity in all hauntings, right? So a poltergeist active house will definitely be an increased price, but hopefully not too much.
Several sightings from both visitors and occupants have reported of an elderly woman who is believed to have been the Allens' nanny and who died in the home from a disease.
Lorraine Lamore says 90. I would take Interstate 90 to get out of there. I cannot disagree with that at all. That's kind of funny. She is not interested in buying that one for sure. At Deborah O'Connor, at Dark Roast, I think she meant Dark Wolf, but we'll let that one slide. At Dark Roast, why are these things always built on Indian grave sites, sir? Because people have a really sick sense of humor is the only answer that I can come up with for that one.
Walking around the halls at night, as well as the ghost of a small child who is said to have been her ward. One unfortunate and I'm assuming traumatized boy who lived in the home claims to have experienced repeated visits from the ghostly nanny.
Wow, this one just keeps getting better. So if you have children, you may have a ghost child for them to play with, or even a ghostly nanny to help you take care of that child or those children. Definitely a plus when looking for a house, right? Comes with a nanny, as well as ghostly kids to play with.
In the 70s, a psychic visited the home and was so shaken by the paranormal energy that she vowed never to return. Because of its ghost-infested reputation, this home is on the market for just $80,000, and still no one wants to purchase it.
Which is kind of wild. Like, there's so many great amenities here. You don't get poltergeist activity very often. You don't get a free live-in nanny and child friend for your children that often. So still, what a steal of a price for such an amazing property. Would this be a property that you're interested in? Go ahead, put a 1 in the chat room. Let me know if you're interested in this property. Go ahead, put a 2 in the chat room. If this still isn't what you're looking for, and go ahead and put a 3 in the chat room if you're still interested, but we haven't reached one yet that you would quite buy.
The Adam Griffin House in New Orleans. This home was built in 1868 by Adam Griffin and was promptly abandoned within only months of moving in.
Once again, you have a classic piece of 1800 Americana here.
As the story goes, during the Civil War, Union troops took over the home to store their munitions as a barracks. 2 Confederate soldiers, disguised as Union soldiers, were caught looting the nearby houses. They were held in the Adam Griffin house, where they awaited trial. When it dawned on them that they would face no leniency.
So my apologies, I forgot the picture of the Griffin house. I don't have that one readily available. We're just going to stick with the Shaver house on screen for now. Again, I do apologize.
From the Union Army, they bribed a soldier to smuggle them 2 guns, and this pair of Southerners shot each other simultaneously in the heart.
And I thought the last security system was good with the tribe of Native Americans. This one comes with its own pair of soldiers to protect the property, right? That's an interesting twist. Speaking of interesting twist, let's see if you guys were interested in buying that last house that we had on the market. Let's see. 1 was for yes, 2 for no, 3 if you just haven't found what you're looking for in this list just yet. Let's see what you guys said. It looks like the Darius Munchausen once again with the 1 absolutely would buy this one. Says he's never seen a ghost and would really like to. Well, we really hope you do. I've seen a couple. It's definitely an out-of-this-world experience. At least it was for me, right? Sandy B2, not it. Definitely is not interested in the Shaver house, the one that we are still showing on the screen at the moment. Once again, I forgot the other picture. That is my fault. My apologies. I didn't load it in. That's the funny part. I've got it. I just didn't load it in for some reason. Terry Taggart with a 3. Absolutely not what you're looking for, but still interested in what else there is to offer. Danny Mall, nope. Noped out with a 2. Absolutely not with the 2. Albert Yoder laughing at what Jerry said. I try to be funny from time to time. Usually they come out pretty cheesy, but you know. Deborah O'Connor, Dark Lost. I want to see something a little smaller, maybe like a college. We'll get into those. Cottage. We'll get into those here shortly. Use talk to take. No worries, Deborah. I completely understand with that. Lord knows the talk to text usually really confuses the words I'm trying to say. Oh yes, 1111, said Joe. She would definitely buy the Shaver house. Angel Light 1. Wow, that's a deal. I'll take it. I love it. Now we're getting somewhere. Now we're selling some haunted houses, ladies and gentlemen. That's what I'm talking about. My Life DIY 1. Buy it. Airbnb it as an income property. Win-win. Especially if you can get some paranormal researchers in there, right? I'm sure they would love to pay for some Airbnb. JoJo's, I ain't afraid of no ghosts. That's right. Deborah O'Connor 2, still not interested. Continue. I will definitely continue my best. Yes, Joe, they actually shot each other. I know, that is such a crazy story, but leave it to us Southerners. We don't play, right? And you remember a moment ago we mentioned that the house we're talking about now came with 2 Southern soldiers who guard the property and like to mess around a little bit.
Throughout the years, numerous paranormal sightings of these 2 ghosts have been reported by various inhabitants of the house. These residents claim to have heard the rattling of chains from the attic and the sound of boots walking across the floor. The home is currently stuck on the market for $1.7 million, but that number is likely to come down. Ghosts are bad enough, but ghosts of Confederate soldiers? That's a deal killer.
So just like the other homes came with music, this has a beat of its own for sure, with the chains on the walls and the boots on the ground. It's definitely something that seems quite haunted for sure, something that maybe some of you paranormal investigators would be interested in buying, but I would definitely wait for the price to come down below that million mark though, for sure. Let's see what else we have on our list. We got time to go over one more property before we have to take a break here, ladies and gentlemen.
The historic Campbell House in Lexington, Kentucky. It took 2 years to build this house in the late 1800s. They spared no expense importing European antiques and sections of other old castles to use as materials to build this opulent mansion.
Another thing we don't mention on this program very often is the hauntings that come from objects that belong to other people. Antique hauntings, if you will. This is a very special class of haunting. The ghost tends to follow whatever the item is that they're attached to. Goes back to the stone tape theory idea, but takes it to a different level. They're literally locked into a certain item, a dresser, a mirror, the side of a Scottish castle nonetheless. They clearly used a lot of European influence in this house.
Rumors of hauntings claim that ghosts traveled from Europe along with the parts of the house that were built from old Scottish.
And welcome, Carol's Cookies. Glad to have you here.
Castle ruins. The Campbell Castle features 16 bedrooms, 14 full bathrooms, and a 2-acre riverfront property.
So once again, we have a large, spacious area, and this one even has some amazing riverfront property. You can't beat riverfront property. That's absolutely incredible. So this house may be something you are looking for. Once again, it's got a variety of European ghosts, though, so speaking with them or communicating may be a little challenging.
Inhabitants have reported hearing scratches on the walls and footsteps throughout the house, presumably from the immigrant ghosts.
It sounds like we have more ghosts that like to play hide and seek. So if you're very athletic and active, this definitely sounds like something that would be right up your aisle. Let's check the price tag on such a unique type of haunted location.
This house is up for grabs at a steep $3.5 million.
So there you go. The price is a little steep. But then again, the type of haunting activity here is also very, very unique. One that you could actually take different parts of the house or different antiques or whatever, and perhaps able to do even more wider experiments with these items. So though a little steep, this may be the house for you. Go ahead, put a 1 in the chat room if this is something that you would definitely be interested in buying. Put a 2 in the chat room if this is definitely definitely a nope for you. Are not interested in this particular property. That's a little too much with the language barrier that you probably just could not get over. And go ahead, put a 3 in the chat room. If, again, you're interested, but we just haven't found the property for you just yet. And we will continue to look for that property after the break. But unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to go ahead and take a network break. So my name is Jerry Hicks, also known as the Dark Wolf, and you're listening to the Darkwolf's Den Radio Show, Hallo-Wolf Realty, exclusively on Rippin' Common Sense Radio Network, the Rippin' Rabbit Hole. We'll be right back with the second half of the Darkwolf's Den Show after these messages. Don't you touch that dial. That's right.
We gotta stoke the fires and run off the men in black. Don't touch that dial. We'll be right back.
Hi everyone, it's AJ, the Rippin' Rabbit. Are you enjoying the Darkwolf's Den Radio Show, Hallo-Wolf's Realty? I know I am. If you are and you haven't done so already, would you please do us a favor? Thumb up this video, hit that subscribe button, and ring that bell. You'll get our notifications every time we go live. We're here every Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday nights, bringing you the very best of common sense radio, the Rippin' Rabbit Hole. I'll return again tomorrow night, Friday, October 8th, 2021. Starts at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10/9 Central, as all shows do. Come along with me on a journey through Fight for Your Right. That's right. Special guest, former Marine Rob Witchall, will be here. He's going to tell us all about what he did to fight for our rights and how he's been fighting for his rights recently. It's an evening and a discussion I'm sure you will not want to miss again tomorrow night, October 8th. Can you believe it? My, oh my, how time does fly. Then Saturday night, come along with me down the interesting rabbit hole of Wild Willful Heart. Special guest and author W. Boone Hedgepeth will be here, and I'm really looking forward to sharing the Wild Willful Heart and the words of W. Boone with you. That's Saturday, October 9th, 2021, and then we'll end out the weekend right together with you. Sunday night, October 10th, 7 p.m., shills. That's right, we're going to look at exactly what shills are and how they're used. More important, how you can spot them, because thou shall not shall. That's what we're going to find out about and end out the weekend right, Sunday, October 10th, with you. If you haven't done so already, please hop on over to our website, rippinrabbithole.com. That's RIPONRABBITHOLE.com. There you can sign up for your exclusive backstage VIP pass. It's going to give you unfiltered access down the rabbit hole to where the conversation continues after the show. Once you sign up, you can create your own profile, and then you can add your own pieces of wisdom to our Down the Rabbit Hole social media network. It's a lot of fun. I've had a lot of fun meeting all of you, and I look forward to even meeting more of you as our community-generated press continues to grow at rippinrabbithole.com. We are going to get back to Hallo-Wolf Realty, your topic for tonight's Darkwolf's Den Radio Show with your host, Jerry Hicks, for Thursday, October 7th. I don't care if Jerry Hicks is the real estate agent or not. I'm not buying a haunted house. You're listening to the Rippin' Common Sense Radio Network, the Rippin' Rabbit Hole.
Reestablishing multiverse connection.
Hello.
Connection reestablished and secure.
This is My Life DIY, and
Hi, this is JoJo.
Hi, my name is Oz.
Hey everybody, it's AJ the Rippin' Rabbit.
This is Cynthia Sue Larson.
This is your man Meta, aka Propagate This Light.
And you're now listening
to DarkWolf's Den.
The DarkWolf's Den Show on Rippin' Common Sense Radio.
If you were meant to be controlled, you would have come with a remote, but you didn't. And that's why you listen to the DarkWolf's Den Show. Now, here is your host, Jerry Hicks.
That's right, I am Jerry Hicks, also known as the Dark Wolf, and welcome back to the second half of the DarkWolf's Den Show for Thursday, October the 7th, 2021. So whether you're on the edge of reality, the edge of the galaxy, or the edge of your seat, we're glad you chose us to be right there with you. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we are trying to sell haunted houses. That's right, we have went over a variety of houses in the first half. Perhaps there's some you're interested in, perhaps not. And we're going to go over just a couple more and see if we can't make a couple more sales for Hallo-Wolf's Realty. That's right. And the next one up on our list, of course, is the Schweppes Mansion. This is one that I had not heard of before this, but perhaps one that you would be interested in buying. Check this out.
The Schweppes.
I guess I could go ahead and call out the answers for the last one, huh? Would you be interested in buying this Campbell house in Lexington, Kentucky? You hear the dog behind me. We do have a new puppy back here, being quite playful. Let's see, Darius Munchausen said yes, one, absolutely. All through the night he's been a hard one on this. Definitely would buy every one of these, including the Campbell house. Terry Taggart 2, no thank you. Alva Yarder 3, not quite what we're looking for, but definitely would like to continue seeing them. Sandy B 2, nope again. Mandani Mall with the 2, Earth Daughter with the 2, welcome Earth Daughter, glad to see you here. Easy puppy. And then we have over here in the DarkWolf's Den Show chat, 3.5 mil? Heck no, says JoJo. Too pricey, said My Life. 2, nope, said JoJo. Absolutely not. That is way too pricey for her. Who else? Hard pass on this house. Yeah, so it don't look like this one, the Campbell house, was quite up you guys' alley. Hey, Bowling Frogs, I haven't seen your numbers popping up in there, but I do see you chatting from time to time. Glad to have you here still, my friend, also.
Mansion is considered one of Chicago's most historically important homes.
And like others on this list, who would not like to own a piece of American history, right?
The grounds stretch an impressive 5 acres, which include an elaborate forested estate and a 25,000 square foot mansion with a view of Lake Michigan.
Once again, we have lots of large living space, as well as a view of Lake Michigan. This sounds like a gorgeous place to live, right?
Inside this possessed palace is a dizzying 28 rooms, including 10 bedrooms and 11 bathrooms, a formal dining room, a stately library, and a cavernous kitchen. In the early 1900s, Laura Schweppe, the matriarch of the Schweppe Mansion, died inside its walls.
Now, I'm really assuming that this means within the house, not literally inside the walls, but then again, with what we've heard thus far, it would not be very far off the beaten path, would it?
She suffered from a fatal heart attack. Heartbroken and miserable, Laura's husband, Charles Schweppe, began experiencing serious mental illness. Some speculate that he had clinical depression. Others think that he was suffering from chronic insomnia. One cold winter night, in a moment of desperation, Charles turned to a permanent solution to his mental anguish. In the morning, servants entered his bedroom and found him dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head. The only clue left by Charles as to why he took his own life was a note found on his dresser that simply read, "I've been awake all night. It's terrible." In the years following the 2 deaths, reports of ghost sightings started popping up left and right. The current owners of the mansion refuse to live there and won't give their reason to the public. It's been vacant for nearly half a century.
So this might actually go into the fixer-up category, considering that it has been vacant for a little over a decade,
It
right?
is believed that Charles and Laura Schwepp and several of their servants continue to haunt the mansion's halls. There have been several reports from credible witnesses claiming that while in the house, they've seen apparitions from beyond. At the Preservation Foundation's holiday party in the mansion in 2011, a group of people were in the home and they all reported seeing a ghost. As recently as mid-2018, there were reports of walkers passing by the vacant Schwepp mansion and seeing lights on both sides of the house turning on and off.
So we've even got ghosts here that are interested in power consumption and making sure the lights are turned off when they're not supposed to be on. What kind-hearted ghost, you know? What a great purchase this would be, right?
They've been trying to sell this mansion for over 50 years, but because of the history attached to the estate, no one is willing to buy it.
Perhaps you are that lucky buyer. That's right. If you're interested in buying this, albeit a fixer-up, it has been empty for a little while, although you never know, the ghost may be keeping it up just fine. Comes with its own butlers, a full staff. You can't beat such a great deal. Go ahead, put a 1 in the chat room if this is something you'd be interested in buying. Go ahead, put a 2 in the chat room if this is, once again, nope, no way, ain't having it, ain't doing nothing with it. I have no will whatsoever to want to try to buy something like that. And go ahead, put a 3 in the chat room if you just haven't found the property tonight yet you're interested in, but you would like to hear more. Like the next one on our list.
Straight from the movie The Silence of the Lambs, Buffalo Bill's home is up for sale at $298,500. A stone's throw from Pittsburgh, there's 2,000.
And that is all the photos that I have tonight, by the way. So we will not be showing any more photos of homes, and we're probably going to go through this next part pretty quick.
400 square foot property has beautiful craftsmanship throughout. An in-ground pool and a vintage caboose make this home feel like a steal, a price that really has been cut to the bone.
There we go. If you would like to own a piece of classic cinema Americana, Buffalo Bill's old house is up for sale. And according to this, it has some haunted activity within.
Not the exact house where Lizzie Borden may or may not have killed her father and stepmother back in 1892, but this Fall River, Massachusetts home was the home she moved to after her parents' deaths.
Let's see what you guys said over here about that last one here. 2.2 says Raider. No, definitely not something he's interested in. Doesn't want Buffalo Bills. The Schwepp house. Sandy B. Nope. Jerry. Dad with a 2. Nope. Absolutely not. Terry Taggart with a 2. Who was that up there? So I'm not liking this. What do you say? This gravitational force anymore. That's funny. Talking about some crazy stuff over here in the Rippin' Rabbit Hole chat. Alvy Yarder with a 3. Mandani Mall with a 2. Definitely would not buy. Angel Light with a 1. Nope, way too big. Darius Munchenhausen with the 1. Angel Light 1 was definitely would. So 2, I'm going to go ahead and change hers over to 2, Angel. Nope, too big. Darius Munchausen with a 1. Michael Fontaine 1, maybe 2. I like the room, but not the location. Location. That's what they say. My Life DIY 3, need more. No, nothing Buffalo Billish, though. No way. Definitely not. So she would like to see something besides Buffalo Bill or Lizzie Borden.
Lizzie stayed here until her death in 1927, and the home is up for sale at $899,000.
And though not the original site of the horrific crime that Lizzie Borden committed, still the place where she lived when she passed away. So perhaps she did get locked into haunting that location. I guess one would have to buy the property and find out, right?
The Black Dahlia murder house is steeped in gruesome history, as previous owner Los Angeles doctor George Hodel is still suspect of the crime. Elizabeth Short was killed, mutilated and dismembered with her body sliced in half at the waist and all of the blood drained from it. Many say it was the work of a skilled surgeon. With such dark history, this property was recently on the market for $4.7 million and has been the backdrop of many a Hollywood film.
So for a cool $4.7 million, even you can own such a classic piece of both medical history as well as American history. And it comes with its own nicely dark backstory, which means there's probably a load of different ghosts and friends living in the house with you. Like I said before, you'll never be alone in a haunted house.
The Gardette Le Prêtre Mansion, or more locally referred to as Sultan's House in New Orleans, was once host to the cream of the New Orleans society. Well, that was until neighbours noticed blood trickling from under the front door the very next morning. Police broke into the home to find everyone inside had been murdered with swords and axes, and the Sultan was found buried alive in the backyard. Rumours were rife that the executions were carried out by the Sultan's brother, the real Sultan, as payback for the theft of his fortune and many of his wives.
So this is another rarity. We've got a home that most likely houses the ghosts of the bureaucratic elite of the time.
This French quarter-style home has 9 bedrooms and 10 bathrooms and was recently on the market for $2.65 million and has hopefully had quite the cleanup since the massacre.
Which, honestly, compared to the last house, this one has a lot more activity, so only $2 million is really quite a steal for something like this. Would this be something you'd be interested in? Go ahead and put a 1 in the chat room if you'd be interested in the Black Dahlia house. Go ahead and put a 2 in the chat room. If nope, that is definitely something you are not going to want to be around. You are totally noped out on that one. And go ahead and put a 3 in the chat room if, once again, it's still not quite what you're looking for, but you'd like to hear more.
Not satisfied with just one haunted home? How about a whole town?
Here we go. Maybe this will be more along your lines. Maybe you weren't just looking for one location. We have a whole town here. Check this out.
Uptop, Colorado was once the highest railroad depot in the world, with a dance hall, saloon and hotel, a real mining and railroad community. Sadly, in the early 1900s and in the 1960s, the new highway system bypassed the town. Recently restored by 2 sisters from Boston, the entire town went on the market in 2014 for $2 million, including the train depot, dance hall, saloon and chapel.
Not only is it a full town, but it's also got its own seclusion because it's just a little off the beaten path. Anyway, let's see what you guys said about the last question we asked. Would you be interested in buying the Black Dahlia home, murder house? 1 if it was yes, 2 for an absolute nope, and 3 if, well, you're not interested in this one, but you definitely would like to see what else we have listed. Let's see what you guys said. Mandani Mal with the 2, definitely not for him. Sandy B with the 2, still not it. Earth Daughter with the 2 3/4, so really not it, but still kind of interested in looking. Terry Taggart 2, won't buy until I see it, won't buy sight unseen. I don't doubt there, or I don't blame you there, Terry. Alva Yarder, no pics, no ma'am. Unfortunately, this one does not come with pictures. I wasn't able to gather all the pictures of this one, so the second half ones is just listings we have without photos available, unfortunately. Raider Champion with the 2.2, definitely not interested in that. Leaning towards not interested, but more houses, but definitely not interested. Alva Yarder with the 3, nope, wants to see what else we have to offer in the book here. Deborah Connor 3, still haven't found what I'm looking for. That's fair, Deborah. JoJo's The Black Dahlia house is gorgeous, but a 2 does not want to buy the Black Dahlia house, but it is gorgeous. Angel Light with the 1, nope. I think the 1 is yep, actually, Angel Light. I think you mean 2 for the nope. Darius Munchausen 1 with the castle there. Ghost Town, yes, with the 1, says JoJo. So JoJo would buy the Ghost Town without question. My Life DIY, Carol's Cookies, and Bowling Frogs all rolling in with the 3. So very a differential across the board here. There hasn't been a definitive one answer that is one. Deborah O'Connor 2, definitely not the Dahlia house. Too much bad juju. I give you that. I will definitely give you that. But Jojo said once again, yes, the town. You know what? I might buy the town myself. I really, really like this one. And for our next listing, we're going to head on back to the great city of New Orleans, where we've got yet another haunted location.
One of New Orleans' prettiest buildings, Magnolia Mansion, currently operates as a bed and breakfast. The home is an important example of antebellum architecture and is known as one of the most romantic inns in America. Many of the building's previous owners came to strange deaths though, including yellow fever and a lightning strike. This 13,300 square foot mansion has 13 bedrooms and was recently up for sale on the market for $3.2 million.
13,000 square foot and 13 bedrooms. That sounds like a heck of a steal right there. Let's see what our next listing is. Not a whole lot of information about that last one, huh? So if you're interested in haunted locations, New Orleans seems to have a couple few, but let's see what our next listing is we have here.
When it was built in 1895 for the president of the Remington Arms Company, Carleton Manor was one of the grandest structures in all of New York. The solid stone outer structure sits on an island of 6.9 acres and is surrounded by almost 1,000 feet of waterfront. Today it is an abandoned shell not fit for humans or ghosts. For a mere $495,000, the buyer willing to make this piece of history into a grand restoration project can turn this home from a nightmare into a dream home.
So this is another one that is going to take a large amount of restoration, but when you get it filled and get it replaced, you will definitely have your own set of ghostly roommates to keep you company.
An absolutely iconic property as the Amityville Horror Home sold in 2016 reduced from $1.15 million down to $850,000. The home where Ronald Defoe got up in the middle of the night in 1974 and killed his parents and 4 siblings with a rifle whilst they slept. This 5,000 square foot home finally sold in 2017 for just $605,000. And residents are forever telling people to stop standing outside of their home for a photo opportunity.
So this one may not be as appealing if you don't like your picture taken, especially, or people taking pictures of your house, but we do know that the Amityville horrors are a real thing. That isn't just a movie, for those who don't know. That really did occur, and we also know that high trauma, high emotion, things like that always leads to hauntings. So there is a really, really good possibility that this one here most definitely is incredibly haunted. But what do you guys think? Would you buy one of these haunted mansions? Perhaps you know of one that we haven't brought up on the list yet. If so, I would love to hear it down in the comments section below. But what do you guys think? Do you think there's a good variety of haunted houses across the USA that you would be interested in? Or is that just too bone-chilling to consider? In the end, ladies and gentlemen, all you can do is look at the evidence, apply a little common sense, and
You be the judge.
that's right, boys. We got to close it out. That's right, that's it for this episode of the DarkWolf's Den Show for Thursday, October the 7th, 2021. So whether you're on the edge of reality, the edge of the galaxy, or the edge of your seat, we're glad you chose us to be right there with you. Ladies and gentlemen, the den may be closing for the weekend, but now that we've got the weekend kicked off right, we're going to hand the baton over to our other favorite animal of radio, Mr. AJ the Rippin' Rabbit, who will be back tomorrow, Friday, October 8th, 2021, 7 p.m. Pacific, 10/9 Central, with an episode called Fight for Your Right. He will host special guest, former Marine Rob Witchow, as they discuss his fighting for your rights and how important that is to this nation. All that and more coming up on Friday, October 8th, 2021, 7 p.m. Pacific, 10/9 Central. All shows here on the network start at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10/9 Central. Then on Saturday, October the 9th, 2021, 7 p.m. Pacific, once again, 10/9 Central, AJ comes back with yet another amazing episode of the Rippin' Rabbit Hole live show. He will host special guest author Boone Hedgepeth as they dive deep down the fascinating rabbit hole of the book Wild Willful Heart. That sounds like a heck of an episode, and one that I cannot wait to hear myself. Then on Sunday, October the 10th, 2021, 7 p.m. Pacific, 10/9 Central, AJ comes back to round the weekend out right with one last episode of that Rippin' Rabbit Hole live show that we all love. That's right. On Sunday, he will be discussing shills. He's going to end out the weekend right with a fascinating exploration down the rabbit hole of what shills are, how they are used, and what actual damage is definitely caused by their presence. All that and more coming up on Sunday, October the 10th, 2021, 7 p.m. Pacific, 10/9 Central, right here on Rippin' Common Sense Radio Network, the Rippin' Rabbit Hole. And that is the weekend schedule for this weekend, ladies and gentlemen, as we round this weekend out right. And this year's going by so fast, we've rounded out so many, I've already lost count. That's right. And speaking of the rippinrabbithole.com, make sure you hop on over to the rippinrabbithole.com. That is rippinrabbithole.com. Over there, you're going to find a lot of fun stuff. Check this out. I go to this website very, very often. First thing you want to do is sign up for your Backstage Pass, though. This is going to get you access to the rest of the website. It also gets you one email a week, every week, with all of the scheduled shows that both AJ and myself have scheduled. All the Darkwolf's Dens and Rippin' Rabbit Holes for the entire weekend. And that shows up in your inbox every Wednesday afternoon just for you. We do not sell, give away, or do anything but hold your information for our eyes only. So come on over and sign up for that, and that gets you access to a lot of fun stuff. Like I said, like the Down the Rabbit Hole section. Come on over and write on the wall Down the Rabbit Hole. If you have any information to share, that is our privatized social media network over there. So if you're a member of the Rippin' Rabbit Hole, you are more than free to use this incredible forum that we have over here, this wall, this social media network that you can share all the information you'd like with the rabbits. There's no telling what you're going to find on there. Like 4 hours ago, about 6 hours ago now, I am the author of Wild Willful Heart. W. Boone Hedgepeth has written a little thing on the wall over there. So if you'd like to see that, go on over and check out his post. While you're on the rippinrabbithole.com, if you click on the Listen Live button, you can also find our schedules. And down at the bottom of every single page, you have the ability to listen live on the radio in real time, or you can hear any of our replayed shows as they play there also. And of course, last but not least, my favorite place, the 24/7 Backstage Lounge, where myself and the rabbits meet almost every night. And if you'd like to join the conversation with us, you're more than welcome to. That's where I'm going to be right after this show, and I cannot wait to see you guys there. That said, ladies and gentlemen, we have to get out of here tonight, so it's been an amazing weekend hanging out with you guys, and I cannot wait to spend the rest of Spooktober with these amazing shows we have planned. With that, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Jerry Hicks, also known as the Dark Wolf, and you're listening to the Darkwolf's Den Radio Show exclusively on Rippin' Common Sense Radio Network, the Rippin' Rabbit Hole. On behalf of AJ the Rippin' Rabbit, Chick Mandela Effect, Michael Musco, Walt House, everyone involved in Rippin' Common Sense Radio Network, as well as Tom Bayless and Red Shed Studios for this incredible music. Hit it, Tom. Man, can he get down to that thing. If you're looking for a custom soundtrack for your next project, make sure you check out Red Shed Studios. Links in the description. On behalf of all these folks and our amazing mod team, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Jerry Hicks, also known as the Dark Wolf. And remember, until next time, stay awake, but dare to dream. Good night, everybody. How? Yeah. That's right. See you next week, folks. Bye.
things are better left unknown. And I'll never find you here, 'cause no one's ever home. Oh, what a widow, a peaceful spider. When the glass is clean, she's a sneaky hider. Hide the lies and the alibis. Oh, what a sinner. Is it in her? What's the truth in this riddle? Is love really just this simple? I can't seem to find my way in this world that never stays. What a widow, a peaceful spider. When the glass is clean, she's a sneaky hider. Hide the lies and the alibis. What a sinner. Is it in her? Is this real? Just illusion?
I'm lost in a wonderland of confusion.
I'm lost in a wonderland of confusion. Is this real or just illusion? Manifestation or a dark delusion? Is this real or just illusion? I'm lost in a wonderland of confusion.
That's right, Radio Karaoke Night, but I think Chick does it a little better, actually, than I do. See you all next week. Bye, everybody.